like a lot of people, I reached a point in my life where I felt really trapped. I felt like a lot of the fun had gone out of life. And the first time that I kind of found that again was when I was taking recreational drugs at raves as a younger person, and remembering that kind of feeling of ecstasy and how it felt like home to me. And it's now much later on with different perspective that I understand that what I was missing at that point in time was a connection with my being, which is ecstatic in nature. And the only way I knew how to access that ecstasy at that time was going to parties and taking recreational drugs. So I was like desperately seeking this home and not really knowing like how to find it except taking this back door, as people often call it. And I got to a point where I was really partying hard and working hard, and it wasn't sustainable. And I started a deeper level of my spiritual journey, I guess you could say, and traveled around the world. I became sober back in late 2011. And I took a 2-year sabbatical, and in that time I was reading a lot about mystics. I spent time in Brazil and lived in Ecuador for 3 months, and Bali, and I eventually found an ashram in India with 3 enlightened masters that deepened my appreciation for Osho. And the ashram was very musical and alive, and throughout the lessons there, I started to be in contact with this innate ecstasy, that's inside all of us, but sometimes we just don't know how to tap into it. And so I just grew so passionate about really feeling that everything was inside me. And after some years, I went back to live in Berlin for the summer, and I started going out raving again. I would go to Panorama Bar in Berghain most Sundays in the summer, except I would sit at home and meditate first and then ride my bicycle to Berghain and wait with everyone else to get in. And I would just so be in myself. I would be so present and so in my inner ecstasy, and I could just dance all day. And I just had these huge realizations that like, wow, I don't need this external drug. It was never about that. And that was kind of a bit of a trigger, but everything, it's just always been inside me. And it made me quite emotional. And from around that time, I kind of played around with the idea of sharing my experiences with others through a course, and this has been like an on and off project, and now it just feels like all the signs are there to share this with you. So I'm so grateful you're here, and thanks for listening to my story. If more people really tune into their divine ecstatic nature, this beautiful divine aspect of us, that it is going to make the world a so much better place. I know that sounds really cheesy and corny, but it feels like so many people are like trapped and locked down, and they're not in their fullest expression. And I really feel like when each of us is in our fullest expression, that's our greatest gift that we can give to everyone else.